benefit from the opportunity that Shayna did a wonderful job at analyzing the data and then putting together these presentation to introduce the staff, to the data, the rest of the staff in the organization. So I am very happy that she allowed me to use the slides. So one of the things that we are very excited about, the partnership with UConn and the opportunity to be more engaged in research activities is that, our staff is sometimes frustrated that they are going through the motions and kind of following the requirements of our funders, and they don't have an opportunity like the survey allow them to have to look in depth in terms of the lives of their clients and ask meaningful in-depth questions to get to know them better and to get to know their needs. So they were excited about this opportunity to do this survey. At Family Life, we emphasize in our clients, the fact that they are resilient and whole and that they have the capacity to take control of their lives. And also, emphasize personal responsibility. And so you can see probably you will see in the slides that I'll be presenting that our clients did relatively well in, taking control and assuming responsibility to control COVID in their lives. So that's exciting for us. So just a little bit of a general, data. Although we don't serve all, Hispanics, a few years back, over 95% of the population that we served were Hispanic, but now, because we have a more diversified staff we're serving, and we have partners with many other organizations, we are serving other populations, but we still serve majority Hispanics. So as you can see with this slide, 18% of the US population, 32% confirmed COVID cases. Hispanics are 4.7 times more likely to be hospitalized and twice as likely to die. So most recently, those data shown about the loss of reduction of lifespan for Americans, and Hispanics had the biggest loss, losing 1.9 years of life due to the pandemic. So we're always hit, the hardest when these kinds of things happen. So we interviewed 64 clients from the organization. The staff were the ones, existing staff were the ones conducting the surveys. We thought that would be good because the staff had this relationship and rapport with the clients, and the clients were able to open up, more readily with workers that had already been working with them for a number of years. So we are very confident that the information that we gathered, is real. We in terms of the demographics, 83%, as I mentioned, we serve mostly women. Historically, the organization over the 35 years that we have been in operation has always served mostly women. In terms of the ethnicity, 69% Hispanic, 19% Black or African Americans, and 11% white, 1% other. First language is 38% speak English. The average household is 3.98, and 36% are employed now after COVID, 61% prior to COVID. So there's been a lot of loss of employment, and 39% reported that they are some form of food insecurity, and 67% have received essential support. So some of the things that I wanted to, highlight is it looks to us like our population of the clients that we have been serving have taken responsibility for, prevention behaviors and protecting themselves against this virus, as you can see here. And again, I have, a theory that that's as a result of the fact that we emphasize and work with them very diligently in instilling in them a sense of personal responsibility for their lives. And that is basically up to them to take care of themselves. They perceived that this COVID is a serious matter, that it affects their families, their community, and they're based on the previous slides that they're taking these precautions. They are really taking it very seriously. 74% reported that is likely that they will contract coronavirus. 23% not likely. We are focusing on the 23%. These are the people that we need to work more intentionally with to change, the mindset, because we all should come out every day assuming that there's a possibility that we may contract the virus. Otherwise, we, lower our guard and don't take the right precautions. 3% were already infected, and 22% know someone who has contracted the virus. And that has changed, as you would assume. This was early in the days of the pandemic. In terms of the information sources, this is information that is very important to us that we're using, now to, customize some of our services. Where is it that they're going to get information? And they rely on religious leaders, healthcare, hospitals, friends, which sometimes is a good thing and sometimes is not. Family members, social media heavily used here, as in it was reported by other organizations, radio, TV, and newspapers. What is it that they're putting, stockpiling in order to, be ready when these things become more scarce? So they're the most significant is the household supplies. They, cleaning supplies and disinfecting things, medications, um, and home entertainment and communication. Um, Issues faced during the shutdown, something that we wanted to look into, and the most significant is people are very concerned about their 80%, almost 80% concerned about the health of the family, which is not surprising to us. Loss of income, and that has become more dramatic since the survey was administered. We are seeing people now at the verge of being evicted because they haven't been able to regain income during the pandemic. It has gotten worse for them. So some of these things have really intensified since the survey was conducted. Some of them complain that they don't have food, that they're bored and isolated, and that they have difficulty getting health care, which is not new for this population. Some of the things associated with their prevention practices have to do with not being essential workers, lower psychological distress, higher perceived seriousness, higher care seeking knowledge. So again, we work very diligently with them in informing them of these resources available in the community for them, and educating them on how to pursue, and look for resources. And then, some of the things associated with distress, some of them who are older are, more concerned and more in a state of distress, and working during the shutdown, experiencing depression, greater coronavirus knowledge. So the more you know about the virus, sometimes the more distressed or anxious you get about it. So um, fewer information sources, a greater number of issues faced during the shutdown, and lower trust in current administration. Again, as previously was reported by Pawati, not trusting, government and the media. Again, here are some of the things associated with depression. So some of the things that suggested in terms of the intervention, the provision of consistent, culturally appropriate, scientific-based information, facilitate linkages to resources to address issues contributing to psychological distress, food, employment. We've seen ourselves providing more support for basic needs than we did before the pandemic, and a lot of requests for that. And advocate for improved surveillance to monitor, track, and disparities. To monitor and track disparities, the population that we're serving is now more interested in advocating for, health equity, which is something that we had not seen before. I think this is all as a result of, seeing that they have been impacted so badly. And want to be part of the solution, which is really exciting and attributed to their participation in this survey to some degree. So that's the end. Let me see if I can get out of here and come back. Oh, yes, I am here.
I can't, let's see, I don't have the full screen yet, but.
How do I get back to?
Go to the bottom and
okay.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
All right. So so that's basically, what we were able to put as highlights of the things that we were interested in, that have more interested in terms of the survey, and that have allowed us to make some adjustments as an organization. And we'll probably speak more of that in the panel presentation. But looking at this information and having the opportunity to go out into the community and about the state of affairs in our community as it relates to COVID has kind of forced us to really reflect as an organization and make some adjustments and changes to serve the community more effectively.
Great. Thank you.